Environmental chemistry. This is very important topic for us. It is necessary to save our environment. And being educated people, it is our main responsibility not to create pollution. Why do our eyes suffer irritation when we pass through specific areas? Why the temperature of earth is increasing? Why does soil become dry? What type of water is safe? What type of water is safe for drinking? Why does a person working in a factory become deaf earlier than a normal one? So these are burning questions in front of us, and that is why we have to work on this. The study of the sources, reactions, transport, effects and fates of chemical species in the air, soil and water environment, and the effect of human activity on this is called environmental chemistry. Pollutant. The substance which produce or spread pollution are known as pollutants. Rapidly degradable pollutants. Now types of pollutants. Pollutants which degrade rapidly are known as rapidly degradable pollutants. Normally vegetables. When vegetables spoiled, we throw it. But it should be in a different kind of dustbin so that it can be separated from other kind of pollutants. Why? Because these are rapidly degradable pollutants. Slowly degradable pollutants. Pollutants which degrade slowly are known as slowly degradable pollutants. For example, during crops, once crop is being taken, the remaining portion, which is waste, is slowly degradable pollutants. Non-degradable pollutants. Some pollutants remain for decades in their original form without degradation pollutants, and that is plastic, nuclear waste, tins, etc. are non-degradable pollutants. It is necessary to manage all this stuff. Atmospheric pollution. Well, this is Earth. The first atmosphere of Earth is troposphere. The second layer is known as stratosphere. The third layer is mesosphere, and the fourth layer is ionosphere. From Earth, 14 to 18 kilometer area is known as troposphere. Then up to 50 kilometer we have stratosphere. Up to 90 kilometers is mesosphere, and 350 kilometer is ionosphere. Tropospheric pollutants. Gaseous pollutants like gases of sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, H2S, O3, ozone, hydrocarbon. These are gaseous pollutants. Particulate pollutants, dust, mist, fumes, smoke, smog, etc. are particulate pollutants. Now gaseous pollutants, we'll take one by one. Oxides of sulfur. Burning of fossil fuel produce sulfur oxides, like kerosene on burning produce H2O, CO2, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and soot. Respiratory diseases caused by SO2. First is irritation of eyes. Swelling and irritation respiratory tract in human being. This is normal lung and airway, while because of some infection in lungs, mucus is deposited inside the lungs and inflamed lung and airways, which is very small. So you feel difficulty in breathing, and that is also one of the reason is asthma. In asthma, the normal bronchiole is quite large, while asthmatic bronchiole is very, very small, and therefore it has the persons who is suffering from asthma, he's feeling a lot of problems in air. Stiffness of flower buds. oxides of sulfur dioxide, oxides of SO2, or SO2 reacts with oxygen and produce sulfur trioxide. In presence of oxidizing agents O3 and hydrogen peroxide, SO2 can be converted to SO3. Oxides of nitrogen. Oxides of nitrogen are nitrous oxide, nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide. Specific condition in which nitrogen react with oxygen and produce oxides of nitrogen. Combustion of fuel in automobile engine, which produce nitric oxide as well as nitrogen dioxide. In stratosphere, nitric oxide react with ozone, which produce nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. Sources of oxides of nitrogen: vehicle smoke, supersonic jet, etc. Forest fire. Fossil fuel. All fossil fuels produce oxides of nitrogen. Effects of oxides of nitrogen. The cycle of NO in environment. These all industries and other things produce oxides of nitrogen that will transfer to air, which will react with ozone and produce oxides or acids of nitrogen, which is called nitric acid, and it may cause acid rain. NO2 damages the leaves of plants and decreases the rate of photosynthesis. NO2 is lung irritant. It causes an acute respiratory disease in children. It is highly toxic on living tissues. It is harmful to metals and textile fibers. Hydrocarbons. Smoke, which produce hydrocarbon like benzene, 3,4-benzpyrene. This four-membered ring is called pyrene, and on third and fourth position benzene is attached to pyrene, so it is called 3,4-benzpyrene. Incomplete combustion of fuel of vehicles and smoking of cigarette produce aromatic hydrocarbons. Toxicity. They are carcinogens. They break the tissues of plant. They cause shedding of leaves, flowers and twigs. Oxides of carbon. Carbon monoxide. Incomplete combustion of carbon. Carbon reacts with oxygen. In less amount of oxygen, it gives carbon monoxide. Sources of carbon monoxide: smoke of vehicle, incomplete combustion of firewood, coal and petroleum products, smoking cigarettes. Effects of CO: CO, which will go into the lungs, join with hemoglobin and produce carboxyhemoglobin, which is 300 times stable than oxyhemoglobin. Therefore, hemoglobin stops transporting oxygen and CO2 from the body. 3 to 4% carbon monoxide in blood causes headache, weak eyesight and cardiovascular disorder. See, this is oxyhemoglobin. Hemoglobin contains one very important complex called heme, and it is nothing but complex of iron. And here this is pyrophorine ligand, and there is one ligand oxygen attached to Fe. And now if oxygen is attached to Fe, then it is called oxyhemoglobin. If carbon monoxide attached to oxygen, carbon monoxide is such a strong ligand and you cannot split it or you cannot remove it, that is called carboxyhemoglobin. So such hemoglobin cannot transport oxygen or CO2 from the blood. This is chlorophyll. Smoking kills. Smoking, please be careful. Smoking is not at all good for health. Smoking by pregnant woman results in increasing level of carbon monoxide in her blood, which may increase the possibility of premature birth, spontaneous abortion, a deformed baby, etc. Smoking can cause cancer. Carbon dioxide. In normal atmosphere, Carbon dioxide is 0.03%. Sources: respiration, we exhale, and that is carbon dioxide, burning of fossil fuel, manufacturing of cement, that also produce carbon dioxide, deforestation, removal of trees, cutting trees, effects of CO2, global warming. Today the major problem we are facing on Earth is global warming. And light from the sun passes through the atmosphere and reaches the surface. Infrared is emitted by CO2. Carbon in carbon dioxide molecule. This is carbon in carbon dioxide, oxygen in oxidized CO2. Some infrared is absorbed by CO2 in the atmosphere, and surface warm-up emits infrared radiations. Acid rain. Acidic gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides released into atmosphere. These gases carried away by the wind. Gases dissolve in rainwater to form acid rains, and acid rain kills plant life, pollutes river and streams, and erode stonework. Global warming and greenhouse effect. Well, in some countries of the world where there is no sunlight or not enough sunlight and temperature is very low, in that case it is not possible to grow plants. So they have to build up such houses, glass houses, for growing plants. So the sun rays enter but do not escape. This process of warming the earth is known as greenhouse effect or global warming, which was proposed by Arrhenius and Chamberlain. So greenhouse gases. The gases actively involved in it are called greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide 50%, methane 19%, ozone 8%, CFC 17%, N2O 4%, and H2O 2%. These all can cause greenhouse effects, and therefore they are known as greenhouse gases. United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has given the word GWP, that is global warming potential, for heat retaining capacity of greenhouse gases. CFC is highest, which is 10,000 times greater than N2O, which is 150 times greater than methane, which is 25 times greater than carbon dioxide. Sources of all these gases: methane, digestion of dung and heat, digestion of paper, kitchen waste. CFC, aerosols, refrigerators and air conditioners, fire extinguishers. N2O, nitrogen containing fertilizers. Effects of greenhouse gases: increases temperature of the earth, increase in water level of sea due to melting of ice. See how difficult to survive in this condition. Increase in frequency and intensity of floods, erosion of soil, contagious disease, malaria and dengue, yellow fever. Remedies to control the increase in temperature of earth: plant more trees. Please spread this message to as many people as, and you have to plant at least one tree. Photosynthesis utilizes 2200 crore tons of CO2 and annually from atmosphere and releases 1600 crore tons of oxygen. So we need oxygen to survive, and that's why to reduce pollution, please grow trees. Take care of vehicles. Regular service and PUC certification should be done authentically. Use of renewable energy sources, like use less fossil fuels and use renewable energy sources like windmill, solar cells, solar panels, etc. Control amount of nitrogen oxides, and for that Use organic farming. Use less chemical fertilizers. Avoid electrical instruments which require CFC to run. Stop release of methane gas. How? Avoid preparation of heat in open ground. Production of biogas is very important. Acid rain. Carbon dioxide in atmosphere which dissolve in clouds and form H2CO3. H2CO3 ionized to give H plus NHCO3 minus 1. Plus some oxides of nitrogen and sulfur also produce nitric oxide, nitric acid and sulfuric acid. And these all will mixed with clouds and form acid rain. Burning of fossil fuel release SO2 and NO2. These acids mixed with cloud and acidic clouds move with wind, and under suitable conditions it rains. Effects of acid rain. Acid rain adversely affect fish, microorganisms and plant in aquatic world. Acid rain water results in increased erosion of nutrients essential for plant growth, decreases soil fertility. Acid rain also affects sculptures. Taj Mahal is affected by acid rain. It became yellow. Now it is our duty to make it white, so that we have to remove those industries which produce these all kinds of gases which affect marble. Remedies of acid rain. Implementation of clean air law against industries producing sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides. Particulate pollutants. They are minute solid particles or liquid droplets in air. Source: vehicle exhaust, smoke from fire, dust, ash from units generating electricity. Viable particles, particulates. All microorganisms are known as viable particulates like bacteria, fungi, algae, etc. Non-viable particulates. Smoke, solid or mixture of solid and liquid produced during burning of organic materials is known as smoke. Smoke from bidi cigarette, smoke from burning fuels, dried leaves and garbage. Dust. Solid particles, size more than 1 micron. These are produced by crushing or grinding of solid materials like sandblasting, woodworks, industries. Mist. Natural spray of liquid produced by condensation of vapors present in air is called mist. Sulfuric acid mist, herbicides. Fumes. They are produced by condensation of vapor released during distillation, boiling, and some other chemical reactions of organic solvents, metals, and oxides of metals. Effects. Particulates of 1 micron size reaches easily to lungs and causes disease related to lungs. Particulates of the size more than 5 micron lodge in nasal passage and harm human health. This is nasal passage and these are lungs related diseases. Smog. Smog is smoke plus fog, which is smog. Classical smog. Smoke plus fog plus SO2 is known as classical smog. It is reducing smog. It is also known as London smog. Due to combustion of high sulfur coal in London city, classical smoke remained for several weeks in 1952. More than 4,000 people died due to inhalation of smog. It is conventionally known as London smog. Photochemical smog. Los Angeles smog. It is produced by sunlight on nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbon produced by vehicles and industrial units. It is also known as oxidizing smog. because it contains high concentration of oxidizing agents. Nitrous oxide reacts with hydrocarbons, produce nitrogen dioxide. It's a chain reaction. NO2 in presence of light decomposed to give NO plus O, free oxygen. This free oxygen joined with air and produce ozone. Nitric oxide reacts with ozone and produce NO2 and oxygen. Hydrocarbon plus NO2 plus oxygen gives formaldehyde, acrolein, peroxyacetyl nitrate. Effects: ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate create acute irritation in eyes. Ozone and nitric oxide cause irritation in nose and throat. Their high concentration create headache, chest pain, dryness of throat, cough, and difficulty in breathing. Remedies: use of catalytic converters in vehicles. Stratospheric pollution. Well, oxygen in presence of ultraviolet decompose to give oxygen atoms. These oxygen atoms will combine with oxygen in presence of UV and form ozone. Ozone layer protects all living beings against harmful effect of UV. So UV should not reach to Earth because of ozone. Now, depletion of ozone layers. Ozone depletion substances, ODS. Substances that cause depletion of ozone or make it thinner are abbreviated as ODS. Example: CFC, 95 derivatives of chloro or bromofluorocarbons. One molecule of CFC is capable to destroy 1 lakh molecules of ozone. This is CFC. Sources of ODS: refrigerator, air conditioners, water cooler, and fire extinguishers. 93 countries, including India, have accepted not to use ODS by signing Montreal Protocol on 16th September 1987. So, Ozone Protection Day, 16th September of every year, is celebrated as Ozone Protection Day. So, it is World Ozone Day. Reasons for depletion of ozone layer. Well, CFC in presence of ultraviolet produce free radicals, chlorine free radicals and CF2Cl. This chlorine free radical react with ozone, produce chlorine monoxide plus oxygen free radical. This is chlorine monoxide free radical and oxygen. Chlorine monoxide free radical react with oxygen and produce O2 and chlorine free radical. So this way, chlorine free radical is regenerated and ozone will be removed and it is producing oxygen. So this is CFC, which will produce chlorine atom. This chlorine atom react with ozone, gives chlorine atom again and chlorine monoxide and oxygen gas. So ozone is destroyed by chlorine free radical. Nitric oxide, smoke of supersonic jet, which react with ozone and produce NO2 and oxygen. NO2 again react with ozone and produce NO3 and oxygen. Effects: UV radiations of sunlight enter directly on the earth. The UV radiations causes skin cancer. UV radiations cause harmful genetic changes in cell, reduction in soil moisture level, reduction in fish production. Remedies: by spraying chemical compounds of alkane in atmosphere by preventing use of ODS.